Wei Min, a 32-year-old archaeologist from Xi'an, gasped as his brush revealed intricate dragon carvings on a newly unearthed bronze vessel. The 4K cameras zoomed in dramatically, capturing the moment gold inlay caught the sunlight for the first time in 3 millennia. This changes everything we thought about early Zhou dynasty metallurgy, Wei whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. The documentary intercut Wei's discovery with heart-stopping drone footage soaring over the mist-shrouded Yellow River at dawn, where civilization first bloomed in China. Viewers were transported to elaborately staged reenactments showing the legendary Emperor Yu taming devastating floods, actors battling through actual rushing waters as ancient engineering techniques were demonstrated rather than merely explained. The segment took a surprising turn when Wei's team used ground-penetrating radar to reveal an untouched tomb beneath their excavation site. As tensions mounted over whether to open it, the documentary explored the moral dilemmas of modern archaeology against the backdrop of China's earliest philosophical traditions. The climactic revelation of an intact Qin-era map hinted at undiscovered terracotta warriors, leaving viewers desperate to see what Part 2 would uncover. Yu Mi didn't just describe Tang Dynasty poetry, she brought it to life in a moonlit garden recreation where holographic projections of ancient poets materialized around modern viewers. The camera followed her through secret passages in the imperial palace, rarely shown to the public, revealing hidden chambers where court intrigues and assassinations shaped China's destiny. Instead of dry historical recounting, the documentary staged a thrilling side-by-side comparison. Modern scientists attempted to recreate ancient Chinese innovations using only period-appropriate tools. Viewers held their breath as a Song Dynasty rocket design was tested, exploding dramatically and demonstrating both the genius and limitations of medieval Chinese technology. The Mongol invasion segment abandoned traditional narration entirely, following a single fictional Chinese family across 3 generations as their lives were upended by conquest. Through intimate, emotional storytelling, viewers experienced the destruction of cities, forced relocations, and ultimate cultural integration that defined this tumultuous period, culminating in a heart-wrenching scene where a grandmother taught her grandchildren songs from a China that no longer existed. Professor Zhang Wei abandoned academic detachment when discussing the Ming voyages, boarding a full-scale reconstruction of Zheng He's treasure ship as it sailed into the South China Sea. The massive vessel, larger than Columbus's entire fleet combined, was brought to life with 4K underwater photography, revealing the innovative hull design that made such journeys possible. The documentary's exploration of China's confrontation with Western powers centered on a remarkable historical detective story. Zhang tracked down descendants of both Chinese and British participants in the Opium Wars, bringing them together to read their ancestors' letters aloud and discuss the personal dimensions of this world-changing conflict. The raw emotions displayed on screen, shame, anger, reconciliation, made distant history immediately relevant. For the Boxer Rebellion sequence, the documentary employed split-screen techniques contrasting Western and Chinese newspaper accounts with newly discovered photographs and the oral histories of rural villagers whose stories had never before been recorded. The segment climaxed with the stunning visual revelation of the Empress Dowager Cixi's actual final testament, suggesting she had planned democratic reforms before her death, a historical bombshell that left viewers questioning everything they thought they knew about Imperial China's fall. Lai Jing broke documentary convention by bringing her 92-year-old grandmother, who had never before spoken publicly about her experiences, to significant locations from China's revolutionary era. As the elderly woman described surviving the long march as a child, the camera captured her touching the distant mountains where her parents had perished. This personal journey became a metaphor for China's national trauma and resilience. Rather than relying solely on experts, the documentary arranged an extraordinary dinner party where former Red Guards from the Cultural Revolution sat with the children of those they had persecuted. Their raw, unscripted conversation about accountability and forgiveness provided insights no historical overview could match. The final segment employed innovative time-lapse photography shot over 20 years, showing a single street in Shenzhen transforming from rice paddies to fishing village to electronics market to gleaming tech headquarters. The documentary concluded not with a neat summary, but with a riveting sequence following a young Chinese AI researcher whose cutting-edge work might launch the next great chapter in human civilization. As she described her vision of the future, viewers realized they weren't watching merely a history documentary, but witnessing history itself unfolding, leaving them both satisfied by the comprehensive journey and eager to see what happens next in China's ongoing story.